Good Monday morning, my peeps. It's Adrienne Talks. And today I want to see, what do you think of the title difference maker? What is it? It came up twice this week and really made me think, what is it? What is a difference maker? Is it a superstar, an athlete, an actor, someone who's built a giant company, a millionaire, an influencer? What do you think a difference maker is? I really wanted to bring this to you because I really truly believe we all are difference makers, right? It's not because someone is an influencer or important or, um, I mean, we're all important. We know that. But an athlete or an actor, all the time, people are listening, right? They're looking for words of encouragement, things that set them apart, people they connect with. You could be the person to show them that they're amazing, like that you admire something about them. You know, so many people, when you walk through life, you can see them talking about the negative, like, oh, this person did that, blah, blah, blah. Like, right? They focus on these negative things happening. But what if somebody just told you what they admired about you, right? Forget all the negatives. There's tons of that, but there's tons of positive constantly happening. And we know that like our brains are not programmed to see the positive. They're programmed to keep us safe and see the negative. But like, what if everybody just walked around telling people what they admired about them, telling people what's great about them, why they're amazing? Um, and even people that like aren't your favorite. I've laughed as I work with clients that so many times the people that aren't your favorite, it's usually because there's something about them that probably reflects something you don't always admire about yourself. And then when you can put that aside and start seeing what's amazing about them, you can realize like we all have amazing things about us, right? Yeah, we all have, places we are not so strong, but we have these strengths that can take us everywhere. And everyone you meet, there's something you can take away from them. There's something that, and I mean that in a good way, obviously, not take it away, but like you can meet someone and just realize, wow, they do this so well. This is incredible. Like, how do they do this? And I thought it was so interesting that we all have those things that come very easily, that other people look at us and admire, and we don't think twice about it because it's in our DNA to do that, right? Um, and I remember once thinking of a difference maker. I had a second dad, basically, let's call him that, right? So it was my dad's best friend, and his name was Ken, and he was a total character. I loved him to pieces. He was part of my whole life growing up. And I remember when he passed away pretty young. Um, and it was really hard. And at the time, I was dating someone, and I remember he just wasn't understanding like what I was going through. And at after the funeral, I was talking with his wife, who was Lane, well, his wife's friend, but Lane was like my second mom. So it was her friend who I never met before, didn't know anything about her. And I remember her sitting there talking to me and listening for quite a while. Like it might have been 20 minutes. I'm not talking forever. And we were just sort of talking about what was going on and, how sad I was and how frustrated I was that, this person just didn't understand. And she listened, right? And then instilled some wisdom on me, right? And I'll never forget it because she was just saying, like, when times are hard, the people that are there for you, those are the ones that even if they can't understand what you're going through, they're trying to be there for you. And there's a lot of people when things get hard, they're not, right? And I remember just taking it away going, yeah, if I'm going to live with someone the rest of my life, even if they can't understand what I'm going through, um, I would really love for them to at least try, right? Be a difference maker to at least, think about that. And it's so funny because, um, like within a day or two, I had ended that relationship. And then probably within a few weeks, I ended up meeting my husband. And I'll never forget that that conversation triggered all of that because I was kind of in a woe is me moment in my life. And this woman took time to be like, hey, you know what? Ken wouldn't want this for you. You don't want this for you. Like, and she didn't tell me to break up with him or anything. She's like, you just have to find someone that is going to support you through it. And maybe you just need to talk to him and tell him, but he just wasn't getting it. And I think that convo really made a change in my entire life, right? Taking a minute to be a difference maker, to listen to me and to share her experiences. I mean, she didn't have to do that. Like I said, it was 20 minutes tops. We were all grieving. We were all sad. She didn't have to take that time. I was real young at the time. And well, not a kid, but like, I guess since I'm older now, we're going to say 20, 23, 24 is real young, because it is for me. But I just look back on that and I'm like, man, every time there are people around us that are going through things we don't know about. And if you just take a minute, right? Take a minute, you could be that difference maker in somebody's life. So I know this podcast is short and sweet, but I'm interested, like, who's been a difference maker in your life? Or who have you been a difference maker in their life, right? Did you encourage someone? Were you open to a new thought process? Did you listen when you wanted to talk, but you knew they needed someone to listen? I would love for you to come to the Facebook community and talk about the time that somebody made such a difference in your life and what that meant to you. And then if somebody came to you and told you about you being a difference maker, I love all of that. Because I think so many of us out there have taken moments to really listen and be there for someone, and it changes everything. And we think that a difference maker has to be somebody that is on TV or makes a ton of money, but really, you guys, everyone's a difference maker, and you get to choose how you get to be that difference maker, who you get to tell, wow, you're amazing and I admire you. Wow, I just look at you and it's phenomenal what you do. And I went through a lot of this, like changing my thoughts and changing the way I was. Um, and I want to hear how you've done that and how somebody's done that for you, because I think sometimes when we hear these stories, we realize how much good is going on all the time around us. So I would love for you to come to the community and share that, because until next week, when Adrienne talks, realize the power is within you. And if you're looking to be a difference maker, I had no clue how to do that until I learned 4 lessons that are so important that I show you in my Yo for Life class. And the link is available in this post. So I would love for you to check it out, because it changed my life. And I'm always here to help anyone who needs a little jump start, jump into that, being a difference maker and changing their world to be exactly what they want.